Welcome to the second episode of Record Breaker. If you haven't seen the first episode, be sure to check it out. So this next record I'm taking on is on the front page of the Ironman high scores at the Deranged Archaeologist. Why the Deranged Archaeologist? Well, one, it's a really good starter record. There's not a lot of requirements to kill this boss. I can do it without the best in slot gear, which I just don't have right now. And it's actually got a really weird drop table. And these drops are going to help me set future records. So let's get on to the gear we're going to be using for this record. I'm missing a ton of best in slot stuff right now. Let me explain why I'm using what I'm using. I'm 1000 dry at Zulrah for the Magic Fang, and even if I had it, I'm not sure if I would use it for this record. Seems like a waste of scales. I haven't even started raids yet really, and all that gear is kind of actually overkill here. It's not really necessary. Void does wonders here. Honestly, that's it. It works great. It doesn't need much else. I followed the wiki for my first few hundred kills. The only things I really found I needed here are magic damage bonus and prayer. Magic accuracy really doesn't matter too much at the Archaeologist. It's just too easy to hit. The prayer is great. Prayer is awesome here. It's much better. It helps extend my trips. On the subject of the prayer, we need to use protect from range the whole time. Mystic Might wasn't worth it. My accuracy was already incredibly high here. Ring of Wealth to pick up the Numulite for me and to help me get even more crystal keys from the halves I would be getting from the rare drop table. Alright, now the weirdest thing I feel like I have to justify is my boots. I promise I own better boots. I have infinity boots, but I chose not to bring them for a reason. Deranged Archaeologist has this book attack that can pretty much kill me instantly every time I'm not paying attention. And after doing my first few hundred kills, I realized I don't pay attention a lot. So if I bring my construction cape, my infernal axe, and this setup right here, when I die, which happens a lot, I can return quickly to the Archaeologist without having to bank up, so I can just get right back at it. This time only takes, it doesn't take very long to get back here after dying, and since I'm using this budget gear, it's pretty much free. So dying really doesn't really cost me anything, and I choose convenience of death, I guess, over the slight magic accuracy of the infinity boots. On to the inventory setup I'm using. Infernal Axe, Construction Cape. Here I have the cast for Resurrect Greater Ghost. Usually I bring 3 prayer potions, but it's all preference. You can honestly do this boss without any prayer potions if your prayer is high enough and you don't mind leaving to restore. The rest is all food. I use junk food here. I use lobsters, I use swordfish, monkfish, any food I had set in the bank for a long time. Since Ark was dropping all these supplies and I was using the regular trident to kill him, it didn't really cost me anything, at all. Originally I was using divine magic potions, but I'm trying to save my shards for those crystal keys, so I decided against that. And regular magic potions didn't give me a max hit for very long, so I didn't even bother. My trips usually lasted so long, I ended up using the food that the Archaeologist dropped more than my own. The runes did cost me something though. So when I started the Archaeologist, I had enough for 2 full trident charges. So 5,000 cast. Plan was to kill that many Archaeologists, alch the drops, and definitely those Onyx Bolt tips. Then I'd stock up on runes with money and keep going. It was actually kind of surprising how much it really evened out. 5,000 casts, I had enough to buy about the same amount of cast. This didn't include the crafting materials, just the drops, the alch drops, rune items, onyx tips, black DI bodies. When it started, I had 100 prayer potions, but since the Archaeologist was dropping prayer potions so commonly and my prayer was draining slow with my decent prayer bonus, it almost evened out, but I was using a little bit. Resurrect Greater Ghost was so fun during this record. I just completed the new Karen quest to upgrade my spellbook. I love so many spells on this thing. We did our best to keep the Greater Ghost up the whole time. Its damage really stacked up. So our magic level was 98 at the start of the grind, with almost 1,000,000 experience to 99, so a long time. But since I was here for the record, the experience kind of actually flew by, and I got 99 magic right here at the Archaeologist. I did another weird thing. I switched my trident to long range mode since it didn't actually affect my max hit, and I still needed the defense experience. And by the end, I ended up going from 93 to 94 defense. Our Ring of Wealth really put in the work, helping us be lazy and making sure we completed the drop table completely. We got every rare drop table you can imagine, including a few dragon pieces. I mean, that's not really normal. It takes a lot of kills to get drops like that, and for me, I had over 4,000 to get. If this was a different boss, we probably would have gotten a pet or something, but I'm fine with just taking a rank 1 and all these supplies. The biggest reason we came here in the first place are all the crystal keys. Enhanced crystal keys give huge experience drops for crafting and smithing, and starting our collection now is going to help me in a future episode with the next record. And even though we got a ton of experience last episode with crafting, I'm not 99 yet, so the gold ore, diamonds, all this black dragon hide is going to help. I need the great experience. So this boss doesn't have any outstanding drops, but it does have constant great drops. Long bones, fossils, crafting supplies, alks, dwarf weeds okay, but nothing too exciting. All that adds up really quickly. This boss is much easier to kill than other bosses and averages over 10,000 gold to kill. With my setup, which definitely isn't the best, I'm averaging 70 kills an hour, rolled hopping in between kills. 700,000 an hour isn't bad at all, for no risk and almost no cost. This record took me about 3 weeks, and honestly a lot of it was done on mobile while relaxing doing something else. This boss has a lot of good drops, nothing too crazy. The best reason for this boss is trying to get a niche item for your Ironman account, and arguably the crystal keys to be enhanced either for experience like me or some completionists who want dragonstone armor. My next record for you guys has taken a bit more time than this one, but I think this is a great record to get us started. So not to get too burnt, I had a routine. Every 5,000 trident charges, I would make all my onyx tip bolts and take a break training agility while alking the drops. I really didn't need too many breaks though, because the arc, I didn't really mind taking risk and AFKing at this boss whenever I didn't want to pay attention. With high HP, I had to take like 2 full book throws to the face to die, sometimes even more. And eating the food was worth not paying attention a lot. I have no idea how the other Iron Man tackled this boss, but huge shout out to the previous rank 1. They are actually an ultimate Iron Man, so that's a huge achievement, and I'm sure there's still going to be the rank 1 ultimate Iron Man for a long time. For me, I'm interested in taking the rank 1 spot overall, not just rank 1 Iron Man. I'm going to passively keep killing him, but I want a few more upgrades before really coming back. This record's really fun to grind out, so if you guys enjoyed watching me break records, be sure to subscribe so I'm not the only one having fun. At rank 1, we ended up getting 275 crystal keys, and once turned into a hands keys, that's an easy 137,000 smithing and crafting experience. But we plan on getting this stack much higher before we set any records with it. Now I'm not really doing a loot video because I kind of used the drops from this boss to kill this boss. And this series is really more about breaking records. We ended up having to use the gold and diamonds to make bracelets to buy more runes for our trident, but we managed to keep all of our black D-hide till the end, 1,300 of them, so we'll have more experience later, and over 1,000 dwarf weeds for more ranging potions. I'm going to find some kind of use for the rune knives, and for these dragon arrows I'm sure. 11,000 cannonballs probably won't last, but we did do all the elite scrolls we got during this, which was 13. Opening the caskets at the end here, nothing crazy. We got some ranger trousers, but easily the coolest thing we got here at the end was an ornament kit for my Fury. And all was 3.2 million from those clues. It was way too difficult to keep up for the profit from the archaeologist himself since I was using his supplies to keep killing him. So 22 of these crystal keys here are actually from the crystal key halves that I was getting from the archaeologist. In all though, the keys are worth about 5.7 million. The long bones are a little over 300,000 construction experience, and the rest added really well to my Iron Man supplies. The record was about this simple. I killed 4,400 during archaeologist, around 70 kills an hour. That's around 63 hours for this rank 1. Which really is not that much time for a rank 1. My next record is definitely going to be taking more time than this one, but I'm more excited for it. I spent a lot of time on this rank for a reason. It's because I had fun. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video too. So subscribe if you aren't already, so you don't miss the next record. Like the video to make me and YouTube just a little happier. Peace, my dudes.